Hello, our topic of today is cube and cube root. I repeat, cube and cube root. My name is Mrs. Edokbai. We'll be looking at how to find the cube of a number and also how to find the cube root of numbers. Cubed numbers. Cubed. What is a cubed number? What is a cubed number? A cubed number is a number multiplied by itself 3 times. It can be written as y raised to the power of 3, where y represents the number in the sense that y raised to the power of 3 can be written as y times y times y, which gives us y cubed or y raised to the power of 3. We will be looking at some examples on how to find the cube of numbers. How to find the cube of numbers. The first example, rather the question we have here reads, what is the cube of the following numbers? A, 5, B, 0.3, C, 2 over 3. Now let's go further by looking at how to find the cube of 5. How do we find the cube of 5? The cube of 5 simply means 5 raised to the power of 3, which can be written as 5 times 5 times 5. 5 times 5 is equals to 25. 25 times 5 gives us 125. So the cube of 5 is equals to 125. The cube of a number simply means you should multiply that number by itself 3 times. Let's also look at how to solve the cube of 0.3. The cube of 0.3 simply means 0.3 raised to the power of 3. This can be written as 0.3 times 0.3 times 0.3. That is, I'm multiplying 0.3 by itself 3 times. I've taught you multiplication of decimals in first term. So we're just going to multiply this out, and we all also know our multiples. 0.3 times 0.3 gives us 0.09 times 0.3. This gives us 0.027. Let's look at the third example, which is the cube of 2 over 3. This is a fraction. The cube of 2 over 3 can be written mathematically by 2 over 3 raised to the power of 3. 2 raised to the power of 3. This simply means we're going to be multiplying 2 over 3 by itself 3 times. Here it goes. 2 over 3 times 2 over 3 times 2 over 3 times 2 over 3. Okay. We'll multiply out our numerators. We'll also multiply out our denominators. Let's go. 2 over 3 times 2 over 3 gives us 4 over 9. 4 over 9 times 2 over 3, that gives us 8 over 27. Now, let's look at cube roots. Cube roots. Cube root. The cube root sign is denoted as shown below. It is the radical sign of the square root sign with a little 3 to denote the cube root. The sign below is what we call the cube root. We'll also be looking at how to find the cube root of a number. Examples. Find the cube root of the following. 125. The second one is a decimal, 0.027. Let's see how this is solved. The question reads, cube root of 125. Cubed root of 125. Yes, I'll have to write my cube root sign. This is my cube root sign. I will insert 125 into the cube root sign, and this reads cube root 125. I'll be using prime factorization method to find the cube root of 125. What is a prime number? A prime number is a number that can only be divisible by itself and 1. So, I'm about to find the cube root of 125. I'll be dividing with 5. 5 into 125 gives me 25. 5 can also go into 25. That gives me 5. 5 can also go into 5, and that gives me 1. I will group my 5s in groups of 3. I've grouped them in 3s. I'm just going to take one number out of this group. I'll take out 5. Therefore, the cube root of 125 is equals to 5. The cube root of 125 is equals to 5. Let's look at the other example and how it is being solved. Find the cube root of 0.027. You know I will do the first one. I'll write my cube root sign and insert 0.027 into it. Look at this number closely. This is a decimal number. How do I go about this? Remember how we converted 0.027 into a fraction sometimes in first term. I can't actually remember that first term or second term. So the first thing I will do now, convert 0.027 into a fraction. If I convert it into a fraction, I will have 27 over 1000. I will then find the cube root of 27 and also the cube root of 1000. How do I do that? I also use my prime factorization method. I find the cube root of the numerator, which is 27, using prime numbers to divide. 3 into 27 gives me 9. 3 into 9 gives me 3. 3 into 3 gives me 1. What do? I group them in 3s. If I group them in 3s, I take one number out of that set of numbers that is being grouped, and that is what? 3. Yeah. I also go further by finding the cube root of 1000. Yes, cube root of 1000. 2. 2 can divide 1000. 2 into 1000 gives me 500. 2 can also go into 500. That gives me 250. 2 can also divide 250. That gives me 125. 5 into 125 gives me 25. 5 into 25 gives me 5. 5 into 5 gives me 1. What do I do next? I group them in what? 3s. I take my first group, 2s. I take the other group, which is what? 5. And I take one out of that group. That gives me 5. Now, I'll multiply 2 times 5. 2 times 5 gives me 10. Therefore, the cube root of 27 is 3. The cube root of 1000 is 10, which gives us 3 over 10. Let's look at this closely. My question was asked in a decimal, and my answer is in a fraction. I'll therefore change my fraction into a decimal. I've also taught you how to convert decimal into fractions and fractions into decimal. If I convert 3 over 10 into a decimal, that gives me 0.3. 0.3. Thank you. Keep practicing to become better. See you in my next class where we'll be talking about volume of a